ladies and gentlemen, we're here in Danville. My name is Eli, and this is the star of all stars.
I'm Vinney Chopra.
Let me find a better angle.
Oh, thank you.
Now we have like a small
okay.
studio
Okay.
here.
So it's just cutting me on the top. Okay, there we go. Okay, lighting? Is lighting okay?
Yes, it's good.
Yeah, yeah.
For me, it's a big honor that he accepted my, or he even called me a few days ago and said, remember we spoke about meeting? And to me this was mind-blowing. This star called me. And here we're eating at one of the best restaurants, breakfast in Danville.
Well, you chose the right one. I've been living in Danville for 25 years. Elijah, you brought me to the best place in town. We had not eaten breakfast at this place. So thanks to you. I really appreciate the energy you bring. I mean, the excitement, and when we talked again, and it's been just a beautiful association, and I see some very big things happening, with us together.
That's same. I mean, I can't even thank you enough. But things I wanted to ask you, how a little bit about your story. Even though we heard, by the way, people, if you want to really learn about Vinney, listen to all podcasts he was part of. There is 5 podcasts, right? Joe Fairless, John Blank.
Oh yeah, Michael Blank, Joe Fairless, Rod Cleef, Bill Manacero, Pat Heben from Rockstar Show, and I think there is another one coming from Lane from Simple Cash Flow. So I think about 5 or 6 of them, and there are about 9 or 10 more.
Coming.
But we want to get ourselves set up so that when the students listen to me or find me on Google or like that, they are able to reach me.
Yeah, like for people that don't know, what is syndication? Can you, in a few words, tell us what is syndication for apartments? And you do apartment syndication for how many years?
Oh, okay. I've been doing apartment syndications for over 12 years now, 10, 12 years. And I'm a California broker also, in California active broker. But I never really wanted to open the business. Well, we did actually. I did the stationery, the business plan, everything, got the license. But then one night, I told my wife, you know what? Are we going to be really selling, these single-family homes or things like that? And we decided it does not fit our lifestyle. I know it fits a lot of other people's, and rightly so, but not for us. So we just canceled everything. We lost maybe $5,000, but that's good though. It's good that you leave something that you're not going to be excited about in life and only get excited about something that you're passionate about. And that's what really started for me to start looking into different facets of commercial real estate. I was thinking about even leasing. I talked to Sperry. Sperry, I think, is a company locally over here, commercial brokers, California Prudential, and I asked them, I wanted to make more money, of course, but then I found out that why not to go into a facet of investing, not just being a salesperson or a sales broker, but be on the other side and invest money. That's what got me excited into learning these tricks of trade of syndication and multifamily. I think in 2004, that's almost 13 years back, I bought a course on eBay.
Really?
On eBay, because one of my friends from Chicago told me about a person, very good, nice person. He's my mentor, and very expensive mentor, by the way. He shared with me, and
What's his name?
His name is David Lindahl.
Yeah, that's no good. You mentioned.
And he has 2 books or 3 books, I think, on internet. Very nice person, and he does very well. And that's what I bought his course for $400 from somebody. These were the CDs, 12 CDs or something. And I started listening to them in my automobile. I really believe, because I was in sales and marketing and motivation profession all my life, that don't listen to radio shows and things and phone. I mean the songs.
Totally.
That's not good for you. The biggest thing is that you want to listen to very nice podcasts, CDs, things like that to really develop new attitude, new vigor, new passion, and learn the business, learn different tricks of the trade. That's what I did. And then I saw him actually after 2 years later. No, I saw him in 2008. He came and gave a free seminar in San Francisco.
Does he still give seminars?
Yeah, he does give a lot of seminars, and I think people have to pay a lot of money now, but that's okay. And anyway, to answer your question in a little bit, very simple way, syndication is pooling of money from investors. That's the word.
Accredited, or it can be anyone?
Okay, it can be anybody.
Oh, really?
Could be anybody actually. It can be non-accredited, it can be sophisticated, it can be accredited, and depends on how you structure the deal. That's how it is, which is called syndication package, we call it. And of course it's got syndication attorney involved. The biggest thing I want to mention to everybody listening to me is that please don't pool money together without the knowledge of a lawyer, because SEC ruling, Securities and Exchange Commission ruling, is very tough, and they are the watchdog in America, in USA, to watch that there are no Ponzi schemes and there are not any unfair advantages taken of the investors. Syndication actually says if somebody is entrusting you with the money, if they're giving you 20,000, 50,000, 100,000, but you are making the decisions on their behalf, that means they are entrusting their money, their hard-earned money to you, and it's a syndication. Oh my gosh. But you could structure it as TIC, tenants in common, or joint venture, then it does not fall into syndication. But in joint venture or TIC structure, LLC structure, then they all have to agree to all the decisions and
what you do.
Yeah, what you
so
do.
They give all their will to you.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's risky, but if they trust and love you,
Yeah. Exactly.
and they already had result making growing money,
Right.
they will follow you. And you mentioned in one of the podcasts, it takes you 10 hours or like less than a day to come up with how many dollars?
Oh, how many dollars? Like
Investors.
Oh yeah. I really am fortunate now. I have a base of about 84 investors over the last 10 years who have gotten quarterly cash flow checks coming into their mail. They go to their mailbox and open it up, and there is a check from Vinney Chopra and his companies, for different investments, and they've been getting it every quarter on the quarter, and now I can raise within a day or two up to $10 million. $10 million.
That is impressive. And they get these quarterly money. Is this cash flow or the sale?
It's the cash flow. All of our investors, Elijah, are equity investors. They are not debt investors. Debt investors are the ones who just give you money and they have a promissory note and you pay them 6% or 8% or 10%, and then once you are ready to return the money, then you give the money back and they just earn the interest. In the equity investors, which we have in all of our syndications, that's how I was taught, rightly so, which is a good and much better way for investors to invest, because they not only get the cash flow during the time we own the property, because our investors are on the title. All the investors own piece of the property legally, and then they get paid quarterly from the operation of the property. And then when we sell the property, like maybe in 4 years or 3 years or 5 years, then whatever the gain is,
that's a bonus.
it's a bonus.
That's amazing.
So they get about 40 to 50% of their invested money at that time also.
But going to the very beginning, so you learned all these strategies by listening, seeing Dave Linville?
Yeah, I went to his course. I listened to his tapes and all. He has an online academy now also, and I would love people to see his or mine, which mine will be going up to
Very soon.
yeah, very soon. And then you can really learn a lot. It's not a fluff at all. If you learn from the right people, the biggest thing I'm finding from my students now is that they are really kind of getting free things from the internet, but getting confused. And that can really hurt somebody, because syndication is a very fine art, and you got to learn the basics and then apply the basics, and I kind of learned from the very best, I feel. And so, it's really helping a lot to run my company very strongly, with systems, with attorneys, with brokers, with my whole team, that we have put together.
That's beautiful. But when you started as a brand new newbie, how did you get people to trust you for your first syndication? How was that made? And what's the art?
Very good point. It was really hard. I remember sitting down with my good friend, and he said, Vinod, how many of these deals have you done? And I had to look in his eyes and say 0. Then he said, how many of these are you managing, or would you be managing this property? I said, no, I live over here in California, and the deal was in Texas. So, everything was no. But because he really believed in me, I think, and I knew quite a bit about Texas, because I took my presentation with me.
Your presentation was fabulous.
Thank you.
You talk about more than probably
Thank
Texas
you.
people know about
Yeah,
the state.
thank you. And I really believe in preparation, because I've been a motivational speaker all my life, Elijah. So I prepare a lot. I prepare PowerPoints or PDFs and things. I go a lot of research. I'm a kind of detective. I do play detective role, and try to find a lot of things, and always store them. I archive them. And now I'm getting into Evernote. I love Evernote. Oh my gosh, I filled them so much. And I can go back now and get my thoughts together, and I can record and so forth. But back then I didn't use it, But the biggest thing was, you've got to deal with your friends and family, which I didn't do it. In my case, I didn't know if I'll be successful, to be truthful. Early stages, everybody's got that fear. I did too. That's why I didn't want to get my family involved. And the second reason I didn't want to get them involved was because they were negative. My family didn't want me to do it. All the relatives thought that I was crazy doing it.
That probably push you to
I know, even
I will
produce
succeed.
more, exactly. When somebody says you may not succeed, then you work even harder to prove them wrong, right? Anyway, but the thing was, I just didn't, so I never took any money for the last 12 years of my family, and I've told them still now, when they want to invest, that sorry, I don't want to strain the relationship. That's how I look at it. And also our close family circles, friends, nobody knows what I do. It's amazing. Even in Danville, people don't know what I do.
Crazy.
But I have built these 84 investors who are really a lot of money, and they're opening their wallet more and more. But it's the confidence, and then prove that what you're trying to do, even for the first deal, that you are doing a lot of research, you are learning, you've got a mentor, you got a coach, and you got a partner maybe, so that you can really build that. And the first property might be 14 unit like me, but then it can go higher and higher.
That's amazing. Vinny,
No.
Eat.
I'm fine. I'm
asking
eating.
too many questions.
Yeah. I'm eating.
I've speaking while Vinny is eating. I listened as I drive to work and back. I work in Silicon Valley, live in the capital of California, so 2 hours one way. I turned my car into university, like Zig Ziglar says, and everybody, I recommend do this. Don't waste life in traffic by listening to negative news or just music. Music is nice just to relax and energize, but if you really want to invest in yourself, the wisest man in the world says, if you love yourself, love wisdom. So if you love yourself, turn your car into university. By listening, I approached on Joe Fairless show. Vinney was performing, and I got ignited. I got excited, and I wrote him. He responded. So, and that led to this meeting, and I'm really impressed and glad. So, back to the story. In this business, what are the strongest qualities that need to be present in a syndicator, a person who works this work?
I would say, syndication field, as you know, we are doing multi-branding. Syndication again, you only need if you don't have money. And we didn't have money. I didn't want to invest money, and my family didn't want to risk money, all that stuff. So essentially, I would say that you want to, first of all, syndication is a business you want to learn well. I really will say that you do find a coach, find a mentor, and get into a program to learn the tricks. How to underwrite a property. Because if the property, multifamily, is not cash flowing strongly, you cannot syndicate. You have to have 12.00 or 12.5 cash on cash. I know it's a term which I can expand more, or in my lectures I do. Cash on cash is how much cash is needed to buy, including the down payment, closing costs, insurance reserves, and other things. And then you say, okay, that's the money we need. And then you say, how much is the cash flow in a year? So if the property is going to make $100,000, you divide 100,000 by the total money invested. That gives you cash on cash.
But that's way different from cap.
It's a cap rate is entirely different.
So
Totally different. Cap rate is based on capitalization rate, which is based on the numbers.
if you buy it with cash.
Yeah, with cash or with leverage. But cap rate is actually based on the NOI. Now, NOI is net operating income, not including the mortgage, and not including the mortgage interest and the capital reserve, we call it. So cash flow is NOI minus the mortgage interest, mortgage principal.
All the operating costs.
Those go above the line, but after NOI comes down below the mortgage interest and also the mortgage principal and the capex, which is the capital expenditure. Then comes the cash flow. So you take those out, then it comes there, So cap rate is cap rate is equal to actually the value of the property, divide that by NOI, net operating income. That's the cap rate. In California, the cap rate is like 4.5% or 5% or 5.5%, which means the properties are very expensive. But when you go to Texas or go to Arizona, go to Mississippi, Georgia, all these places, cap rate is 8 or 8.5 or 9. I have bought at a cap rate of 12, in the past. The higher the cap rate, the lower the value of the property.
Awesome.
The smaller the cap rate, higher the value.
In other words, due diligence and research is critical.
It is very critical.
Probably the most important.
It really is. Actually, I would love to share with you about these 2 deals that I'm just purchasing last
Speaking
week.
of due diligence.
Oh, okay.
How many books or pages are here?
Oh my gosh! Look at this here.
This is all due diligence.
Yeah, look at this.
The real homework.
Yes, exactly. And the best part is I'm opening a brand new market in Atlanta. So I'm starting a brand new business. So actually people can follow me and I can teach them how to start a brand new company. I started a company 10 years back, 10 years back. Ideal Investments Group and Ideal Management with my team. I don't take all the credit. We have wonderful people in the team and we still do. I'm the president of that company. But then I started Monil Investment Group company 2 years back. So I started all brand new. And I'm the CEO of that.
And as I know, Monil stands for your daughter and son.
Yeah, Monil is actually Monica, our daughter, and Neil is our son.
And can a small reference? His son was invited by Bill Gates himself to San Francisco program. He wrote a really clever program for
He
school
wrote a program actually in high school.
when he was in 12th grade. Isn't that amazing?
In 12th grade, and they wanted to bring the .NET technology, which is very big now, and they wanted to introduce that with his software he designed into .NET, and then he was at the podium and all. That was wonderful.
So you have very wise and smart genes.
Thank you, thank you.
Back to your new deals and what are you structuring? So you're opening new market in Atlanta.
Yeah, right. What I teach, what I preach is to act, because I'd like to do about 6 months of research actually, minimum, to go into any market, because at a given time in USA, probably 15 to 20 markets are emerging I call it. Emerging means jobs are coming in, a lot more businesses are coming in, so that way what I find is, you've got to do a lot of different reports you have to read and find out if that is where you want to stay for next 5 years. Because syndication world, we try to keep the properties for 3 to 5, 7 years, and then we sell them. Right? So what we decided was Tech Triangle over there in North Carolina is very huge. North of Dallas is very good, very huge. And then Atlanta. So I pulled the plug on Atlanta. Pulled the plug. My daughter will say that, Daddy, that's a wrong word. I plunged into Atlanta, and I was going to take off actually this month of January, but just before New Year Eve, my broker network from Atlanta threw me a couple of properties, and I couldn't believe. And I flew in last week on Monday.
Before New Year's, right?
Yeah, after New Year's.
Like
after
next
New
day,
Year's,
yeah.
just afterwards. And then came back last Thursday night, and then got, deals
I see
together.
spark in your eyes.
Thank you.
About that
Thank you.
trip.
Yeah, I was able to get 267 units under contract before I went there. And then I looked at one more on Tuesday, 191, plug and play. And I said, let's buy both. So 458 units in just 2 days. Yeah.
So Vinny, you mentioned this broker.
Yes.
How do you find, or how important is the relationship and the friendship connection?
It's so
with
huge. It's so huge. I would love to mention, when I started Monil Investment Company 2 years back, I went to Houston area, and it's a knowledge everybody knows now, where my 10 properties I bought off market, all off market, in the last 22 months. And that is because I went to the top people. I always go to the top. The owners of the biggest family houses, of the broker houses, I should say, of multifamily, because that's where I'm going to. So ARA, Marcus Millichap, Houston Income Properties, NCA, Barcadia. I'm giving you all these names, and I would love to pass this whole information out. Everybody who wants to, everything that I know, I want to give that out to everybody, everybody. And then they did not have the product in the emerging segment where I knew, my research told me that billions of dollars is going to be spent, about $109 billion. They didn't know about it. I don't know, maybe they knew it, but they didn't know. So I gave them an idea. I'm a broker in California. I told to the owners of these brokerage people, executive vice presidents and presidents, if I were you, if I may say so, I would like you to call the multifamily owners that you sold the property 5 years back. So go into your database, and since you do not have any product for me, go and call on them and then bring me the product. That's what they did. Elijah, they called what I told them to do. Within 3 to 4 months, I started getting the pipeline. These properties in the pipeline, which they had 0 properties. Then I kept on buying from them. I bought like 2 properties from one broker, 3 from another one, 2 from another one, and so forth. I just kept on going. It's a building relationship. Same thing I did for Atlanta now.
You need more hot water or anything?
Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Sure. Oh,
And-
it's already full.
I did. I filled you up a while
Thank
ago.
you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
And I think you mentioned that you don't keep broker fees. You
Oh
give them
yeah,
all everything.
that's one thing I decided. That has served me so well, because the thing is, I'm a broker in California, and I can get through my lawyer. I can represent myself in any state and then get a referral fee or split commission, we call it. So if the seller is paying 5%, I can get 2.5%, or usually we pay 4% in multifamily. It's a $10 billion deal, so that's 400,000 the broker is going to make.
That's crazy.
So what I did was I could take 200,000 as income and then pay taxes on it. But I decided why not to give my commission back to the selling broker. So I have always bought from the listing broker. I never have a buyer broker, because listing broker becomes my buyer broker also, and they make double the commission.
That's
And
the
they
way
love
to-
me. They just love me because they want to rather sell to Vinney rather than to another person.
Of course.
So they tell me when the properties, when it's on a napkin, they're talking to the seller or like that, and they call me. They say, Vinney, hey, this is the deal. As a matter of fact,
Somebody's
this
calling.
deal- Oh my gosh, this Albion, this one? Albion, yeah. This one over here was my number one deal, which I bought, my first of the 10 in the last 2 years. And I bought
As
it.
a Monil group, right?
Yeah, Monil Group. And the thing which really gave me the idea through my detection work was this article,
Who's new?
Who's Who.
Who's who?
And this was the picture of the property that I found in the Facebook of that property. And the broker only gave me like a P&L and the rent roll. Nothing else. I started doing detecting over the weekend. I came across this article where this property that I'm thinking about buying was featured on the first page of the local newspaper. Then I went to the archives to the publisher, and then I got the newspaper. And then I read through, because I couldn't read it, right?
Yeah.
So then I read through it, and I put my numbers into it. I said, holy moly, this seller has put $2 million into it recently. So I offered 7.some million to buy this.
How many
7.6 million. 7.6 million.
How many
for
units?
192 units.
Good. That's a good price.
But they wouldn't come on the table. They wouldn't talk to me.
So
I said, okay, let's go 200 more and 200 more. So I was at 8.5 million. They still won't come. I think 3 weeks went by, and I was dreaming about it. I said, Vinney, why is the seller not coming to the table? Why is it not coming on the table? I'm underpaying them, right? So I talked to the broker. I taught him some skills. And he was a young broker, by the way, Jim. He really learned a lot too. I said, Jim, 100% of zero is zero in my books. So do you want to make commission or not? Anyway. So I said let's bring the sellers back on the table. And I said, why are they doing it? Found out that Marcus and Millichap, another company, was meeting with them and telling them that this property is worth 9 million. And Vinney's paying only 8.5. So then I started working on my broker. I said, tell them, every broker will give you a higher number to get the listing. It's not the real price. So it might be worth 8.7. And guess what?
Added two
After
more.
all the negotiations and everything, I bought it for 8.7. 2 years back.
So negotiation is the key.
Negotiation is the key, and then we took over. We did the bill back, the RUB system, which we do it. We increased the rents, and it's worth 11.7 million
Miracle.
in 2 years. And actually, it appraised for higher than what I paid. By the way, it appraised for over 9 million.
Self-satisfaction. Totally great. Wow. So imagine, as I said in the beginning, this is interview. You guys, youngsters or whoever, how old you are, you're meeting Vinney Chopra, which everybody wishes to do. So if you'd be young entrepreneur like me, going back to your maybe 20 years, 30 years, when you're about 25, 30 years old, how would you act right now in order to come to this success where you are right now? What actions would you take? What energy, where would you send the energy, invest in what? How could people repeat you, duplicate you?
Good point, Elijah. I would say the biggest thing is you got to start believing in yourself. I believe that even if you don't believe in yourself, you got to learn or read books or listen to. There's a lot of important. Just YouTube. Just go to YouTube. Is my biggest educator, by the way. YouTube. I've been investing maybe 500 to 1,000 every year, last 40 years since I came to USA with $7. I love that. I love that because I've been investing. I didn't have too much money early on, of course, but then when I got full-time employment in 1978, after that, I would say I definitely, and I wrote myself a goal. I was making $10,000 straight commission when I got married. My wife didn't know that, but I told my wife, we're going to be making 6 times the income in just 2 or 3 years. She says, really, 6 times? I said, yeah. And I'm so happy because once you set goals in life and you work hard towards those goals, you reach them. So I would tell all the young people to really start looking into Google, a lot of information, and also YouTube, how to invest in passive income. How to invest in passive income, and also learn how to start believing in yourself. Set goals. What you're doing today, see, you cannot change the last half an hour. You can only change the next 30 minutes. So being productive every day and making sure that you are not only doing the job, what you're doing right now, but doing it better, but at the same token, spend time not looking at the television shows and not wasting time in the automobile. Like you said, Elijah, Automobile University is the best university.
Absolutely.
And podcasts, everything is free, so podcast also, listen to it. Kind of what I did in the past when I came here 40 years back, I had the drive and I had positive attitude and I smiled a lot, I think,
Is that what your name means? Vinney?
Actually, Vinney Chopra was my name, but back about 39 years back, I was smiling right then and I smile a lot now. So when they started giving me plaques and trophies, they started putting in parentheses smile. So they said Vinney Smile Chopra. I said, wow, I kind of like that, So I had to live up to that name. And Vinod in Indian language means happiness also. I didn't know that. Wow. So my mom and dad named me well. Vinod, happiness.
And you result of it.
I'm a result of it, hopefully. So, Vinod Smile Chopra, right? But for the young people, I really would say you have long life to live. But the thing is, what you want to do in a year, if you put your mind to it, you can do in half a year. What you can do in half a year, you can do in 2 months. I believe that. In my other profession of motivation speaking, I could really work so hard in just 2 days and have so much time free in the rest 3 days. I really believe 80% of the results in our life we get with 20% of the activity. In every facet, every facet of life, it's like that,
That's beautiful. So, and final question for this.
Sure.
What's your long-term game? What are you trying to accomplish? What are your big dreams, goals, and final wish for all the people?
I would say that I'm going to be turning 65 this year. I'm very excited about it.
I already told it to me. He acts like he's 25. Look at this youngster.
Thank you, Elijah. I appreciate that. I really believe that it's all mental age, not physical age. I've also committed myself in 2017. I'm saying that now on the, publicly. I'm exercising every day. I've never used to do that. I used to maybe 3 times a week or so, but now I'm on elliptical, going to crunch, going to all, and massage, hopefully every week. So that's only 54 massages. I can afford more than that. But then the other thing is taking care of life, fitness, health is important to me now. And then the other part is I have believed this life to be 30, 30, 30. My father passed away at 88, so I'm 65. So I'm thinking if I leave this world at 88 or 90, I look at 90 as 30, 30, 30 in three different segments of the game of life. 30 you are kind of learning the business, 30 again you are married and you have the kids and you are making good money, and then at 60 people retire and they want to just not do anything. But I want all the people who have turned 60 and the young people to really have a vision board for the next 30.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm doing right now. I want to have my own new vision board, which I've already started on, and I want to bring education to the young masses. And it just excites me that I could be in a platform where I could teach young people a little bit about my life, about being positive, being enthusiastic, and how to set goals. And I would like to record lots of different things in my mind, which I'm not a good writer, but I could put things together and then record and lecture. And then that's my motivation side of it, positiveness, happiness and all. Then I want to also bring lifestyle to the young ones in the 40s, 50s, 60s who are into multifamily investing, and teach them everything I know about syndication, and maybe make $1 million. I know that's a big number, but I always look for big numbers. Million syndicators before I die.
That have been influenced by Vinney Chopra.
Me, and a million of them who can be multimillionaires like me in this multifamily and real estate.
You're a big fan of Zig Ziglar.
I am very.
And Zig Ziglar is he motivated millions of people for his life, even though he already no longer with us, but he still continues to change people's life. And this is doable and possible, and you're a true student of Zig Ziglar. You're going to repeat it.
I appreciate that. I bought Zig Ziglar's See You at the Top, Elijah, many moons ago, 40 years back maybe. I think it was published then or sometime in the middle. But one thing which really I learned a lot from Zig Ziglar was See You at the Top. Always look, take the stairs. You cannot take elevator. If you try to cut short the learning process and hard-working process, it sometimes happens, luck comes in, but you have to work hard every day. The other thing I liked about Zig Ziglar, Elijah, is that if you help enough people get what they want, then you will get what you
anything you want.
Really, that is so important. I don't want to leave this earth feeling that I didn't tell every student of mine every trick I know, and I'm coming with a lot more tricks of the trade, but keep it simple. I mean, there is no fluff in any kind of learning. Everybody can do what I can do, what I've done. Everybody can do it. It's just not that. It's just to keep it simple, focused, attack, and then learn it and have a mentor or a coach.
That is beautiful. Vinney, this is my privilege. I still can't believe I'm talking to you, but I'm glad. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you.
We'll probably see you more, and ladies and gentlemen, soon. Vinney will be available on all social media platforms. You can follow him, you can hear his thoughts and ideas and motivation soon. And later, if you want to take this to a serious level, he has several courses for people that really want to success, who want to invest in that. If you want to invest, you really have to pay for it in your mind. You will take care of it more seriously. So, Vinney, under this link, there will be some of the lessons Vinney has. If you're a serious student, you can be his student. But
thank you.
Great motivation. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
We'll see you later.